Coming up, this is a restoration of an abandoned building in Bedfordshire. You'll see the transformation from being completely a shell to being fully finished.
Yeah, we'll be discussing all details to do with funding it, doing the works, builders, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and all that kind of stuff. And then, later see if we can get something here going.
I love it, I love it. Look at the shoot, come on, man.
Got a shoot.
Come on, bro. But, yeah, listen. That's what I'm saying. I want chickens, bro. That's what, you know what I mean?
Me too, you know.
Bro, honestly. Yeah.
Oh, this is a lot of work, but come inside. Let me show you. Come. Right, this is it. Who wants to come and stay here with me? Yeah. Right. So, a lot of work everywhere. I found this house through an agent. So there was a time I was just going through Rightmove as I usually do, and I saw the house and I thought it looks interesting. I saw the price and I thought it looks interesting because prices around here, it's a village, so prices are quite high. So it was like half price, and I thought, let me come see this. Obviously, it needs a lot of work. There's a lot of opportunity here, but the main thing is relationship is key, because when I put an offer, someone else had put in an offer and it was accepted, but they came back and they tried to negotiate. Now, for me, I just knew that I didn't really need to negotiate. The price works quite well, but the good thing, the person that was before me had negotiated a lower price than I was willing to pay for. So I just spoke to the agent and said, what price was agreed? They obviously told me the price. I said, well, we can do a deal at that. Fantastic. So we agreed on a deal. It took longer than we expected because the property was not registered. The owner obviously had to register the property, split it, as you can see, it backs up to a farm, allow us to apply for searches and do the due diligence. We had a glitch halfway where I believe the owner went to a pub and had a chat with someone, and then that person was like, hey, look, I can buy this house from you next week. I could complete really quickly. And then I think the owner just thought, we're taking too long for some reason. And he pulled out of the sale and went to the other person. But for us, we was like, look, because we're spending so much money, it's quite important that we do our due diligence fully. So if he doesn't want us to carry our full due diligence, we had to walk away. And that's something you have to make a decision on. No matter how much you want a property, you want to be able to carry out your full due diligence, because this will be one of the most expensive purchases most people will make in their lives. I'll make in my life. So I need to be comfortable with a full purchase. We agreed on a deal, we exchanged, completed, and here we are. When we completed, I had gone for planning before we completed. That's a risk I took because I thought I don't want to waste too much time. So I went for planning to get an extension at the front. To start with, I went for 8-meter extension, which was, I made a mistake there because permitted development, I was allowed to do 4 meters. I went for 8 meters. But the neighbour next door is actually in property, so they objected. So they hired a planning consultant to obviously object our planning, so it got refused. The mistake I made there is I should have gone to a planning consultant to actually do the whole planning for me. But that's a lesson learned. So I went back in, spoke to a planning consultant who I paid to do the whole planning for me, go for planning, architects, all that kind of stuff. We went for planning, got 4 meters, then went for a permitted development to get a garage there, and then loft conversion. And then we're doing another planning to split this into 2. So what I want to do, because I have some time between now and when the builders are scheduled to start in August, so we've got 2 months. Instead of me waiting around, I thought, you know what, I'll start looking for a new angle on how we can extract the value on this property. So we got the property, we added value by getting an extension, then value by getting a loft conversion agreed and a garage. So if we took this property, sold it today, we would make a profit because we've already added value. But then what I want to do in the next 2 months is trying to get planning to split this into 2. So currently, the property is about 1,500 square foot. But with everything that we're going to do, we can take it to about 2,000 maybe up to 2,500 square foot, so we can add about 1,000 square foot by adding the extension. There's a space in the basement that we can add, and obviously loft conversion, so much space. So then if we can split this into two beds or 2 3-beds, then that adds extra value. It's a bit of a risk because we're in a conservation area, so it's not always easy to really get planning down here, but it's a risk worth taking because at the end of the day, who knows, if we can get 2 beds here, that'll be absolutely amazing. So the plan is to get rid of all this and put beams across. We plan to change where the stairs are and put the stairs here, so people will walk in here and then they got all the space upstairs. So the plan is, if we keep this as a family home, The plan is to make this a 5-bed, so we'd have 3 beds upstairs. So we'll have 1 bed here, another bed there, and a massive bed down there with an ensuite. And we'll have obviously like an ensuite. We'll have a toilet up there, and then here we'll have 2 rooms. We'll have 1 bedroom here, another bedroom there. We'll have a bit of a reception rooms and a shower. So it's a big house. It'll be a big house. And then also the opportunity here as well is to convert downstairs. So come, let me show you downstairs. Sorry, this has grown so bad. It's ridiculous. All right. So if you can see this, I know it's quite dark in here, but this is wasted space. So what we're planning to do is actually behind here is all wasted space as well. So we're planning to get rid of this wall and push it back. We're going to push it back so we can create extra space here, and then obviously we're going to get an extension there. So all together here, this way we'll get 4 meters this way. It's 10 meters that way. So we'll end up with 400 square meters anyway. So that means literally that's like a size of a flat, and this will be the kitchen, the diner, the living room. So that's the plan really. So yeah, that's it. A lot of work to do here, as you can see. But yeah, wow, look at this. This is nuts.
You'll see the transformation from being completely a shell to being fully finished.
Right, as you can see, the grass is completely overgrown. We had to cut this grass like so many times because we'll get it cut, then it'll overgrow again. But as you can see, the site clearing has started. So many skips we had to utilize here, people coming to pick up rubbish. It was a lot, we did get there in the end. As you can see, the caravans, the builders stayed on site, which was really helpful for us because they were definitely on time every day. Yeah, this is the building, we've taken everything down. Now we're starting to think about things like underpinning, which is basically strengthening the foundation of a building. The fact that the soil is beneath the foundations, we needed it designed. We had to have safety procedures in place. We have to inform our local building regulations officer. They have to approve it, inspect it before and during, and as well as after. And this itself can take a couple of weeks. By the way, we were not required to underpin this, but the builders believed it was the best thing to keep the building secure, especially because it's built the way it's built as well. You can see that some of these holes for the underpinning, maybe one of them they were able to use a digger, but most of them they had to do it by hand because of the position of them. It was a tough task, and the amount of soil that we had to get rid of from here, it was a lot. You can see that a lot of concrete pouring happening here as well. Yeah, it's a big massive job, but the foundation is pretty important. The steel on site was, it's huge. It wasn't easy to do this, to be honest. It wasn't easy at all, but the builders did an amazing job. And one of the best things that happened to us is the builders, to be completely honest. You can find the site, you can have a great plan, but if you don't have the right builders, when challenges do come, they might walk away, they might say they want to do it. But we had so many challenges on this site, so many challenges. The builders are very hands-on, very experienced, very forward-thinking. They took on every task on hand.
And I'm right in saying as well that the steel was an unexpected cost. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I mean, we had an idea we'll put the steel, but we didn't know it would need to be that big.
Right.
Yeah, and even things like to prop the building, waiting for the steel, that is a massive cost. So the builders had to come up with a way to do that safely, but in a cheaper way. So that was really helpful. It goes back to the point of having great builders and how that's important to any project that you do. And one thing that we had to manage a lot on this site is traffic, because it's a village location. There's not much parking here. So if you have loads of trades on site, that was not easy. But thankfully the neighbors were gracious and so on. One thing that we decided to do is bring a few of our friends or professionals in the same industry, especially in property, to help us. So this is our friend Peter. We tried to get as many people on site to give us different ideas of what we can do and so on and so forth, and how we can increase the value of the building.
At this point in the video, I just want to point out, I'm sure you can appreciate that the road. As you can see, we're parked up on the curb. To manage the flow of the traffic and pedestrians was one of the biggest challenges, I think, doing a project in this location.
Yeah, it was. But thankfully, everyone was very helpful. Do you want to talk a bit about the building and the history of the building?
One amazing thing for us was restoring this property. Obviously, it was a abandoned property, but it actually has a lot of history to it. And when we purchased this property, the person who we bought it from did really want us to maintain the history. On the front of the building, as you can see at the moment, there are stones that have names engraved, and those names are people who built this property. So this was actually used as a hall for recovering alcoholics. So it was a place for them to come for restoration. It was a place for them to socialise and get help. And it was a big part of the community, we're told. So yeah, it was just felt really great be able to restore. And actually, since it has been restored, there's been many people who come up to us and wanted a tour of the home and have been really moved emotionally because they've seen this property abandoned for years and years and years. I believe it was almost 60 years, to be able to see it restored and become part of the community again.
So yeah, here, this is about shower.
So, okay, this is going to be a shower.
No, it was going to be a shower before.
Yeah?
Yeah, but now it's a box bedroom.
Coming from here,
Yeah.
and the cot will be here.
Yeah, so the door, you come in, here. Here, there's nothing here, really. We're not
But is it big enough? Is it big enough for
the cot?
yeah?
Yeah. I will.
Window. Okay, yeah.
This is like a box room.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then here,
Storage, man, that's easy. Storage, yeah?
yeah, so this is going to be like a little walk-in closet.
Bro, the kids are gonna love hide and seek here, bro.
No, that's what I was saying, yeah.
The kids are gonna be like, come on, bro.
And then here, I think there's tanks and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, like storage.
There's a lot of storage here, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
for real.
yeah. And then this is,
Dude, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
and this is the kids' bedroom now.
Yeah. Nah, it's a good size, bro. Really good size.
Yeah, we've got a decent sized window.
You know?
Um,
And then you've got ensuite shower.
That's an ensuite shower, yeah. And then, so basically what we're planning to do is we're gonna put, you see that the door is there.
Uh-huh.
There'll be a divider there, so this is ours. So
Yes.
they can't
Yeah.
come through there, and then shower there.
Beautiful, man.
Where's the boss coming back?
Sorry?
The missus.
Where's the boss coming back?
No.
I need to
One of
talk
these
to her.
days.
That bathroom.
Yeah.
Exactly where she wants everything.
She will.
Woo.
Yeah.
We're waking up from our bed. Look at that, man. Now you can see. Bro, now you, oh my. Look at that. I don't want to touch it. It's beautiful. What I want to know is, what can we see here? Like, this is beautiful, bro. This is absolutely gorgeous. Look at this view. So this is that. This is the P. This is the P. So tell me, what is this? Sorry, what is this? This like
So,
a terrace, a balcony.
Yeah, so we can't get, we don't have planning to do a balcony, but later on we'll go for planning to get a balcony. Yeah, because obviously they're gonna make it watertight.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. And then, later see if we can get something here going.
I love it. Look at the sheep. Come on, man.
Got a sheep.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one. Well, listen. That's what I'm saying. I want chickens, bro. That's what, you know what I mean.
Me too, you know.
But honestly, yeah.
Like eggs. Yeah. So that's
The amount of eggs we consume a day, man, like this. Yeah.
This would be a shower. Be hanging from above. So you come in like this.
Yes.
You have your shower.
Yeah.
Whether it's here, you have your shower. Then you come out. You have your toilet there, sink here.
Yeah.
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 So it's like a, it's gonna be like a wet room
Yeah.
kind of vibe.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
Yeah, and then spotlights.
Yeah. Ready, man.
Yeah.
ETA. What are we looking at?
2 months.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good one, yeah.
We're aiming for end of June. Still quite a lot to do. Yeah.
Look at the size of this, man. How you doing, mate? You right? Yeah. Look at the size of this. Walk me through this, man.
So,
This is
this was not here.
No. Okay, yeah.
So Jason Marcus made this happen.
Yeah.
So we had, so this is an extension of here, it was up to here.
Yeah.
We had like, it was from here to there. So let that go inside.
This is really where I started to get really excited about this project. Up until now, never really came on site. It was very, very muddy, very slippy. And now, as you can see, the walls are starting to come in. We're standing, there is a utility room, and before the project went ahead, that was not going to be the case. It was just going to be one open plan room, and I guess that's where my female touch came in. I said, no, we need to have a utility room, so we built that in there, which was last minute. Where Peter is standing, that's where the media wall, we planned for the media wall to be, and it was such a great feeling to be able to come in at this stage and just see the ceiling, the floor being done, and just see more of, you know, the vision of what this room will look like.
Yeah, and initially I thought that you could just hang a TV there, and it was your idea to come up with a media wall, isn't it? So that was a really good idea. And later
Instagram inspired.
Yeah, and later in the video you'll be able to see what the media wall looks like. But yeah. So here we're just, you know, discussing more about the house. With this kind of project, there's so many things I hadn't thought about ahead of time. So it did help to have constant meetups, coming on site frequently to have discussions about different things. Like, you know, for example, the door. I just thought that I'll be able to purchase a door from a normal place, and I realized that the size of the door and what I was required to get here will take about 6 weeks to order and get it done. Things as these I never had to think about before for the projects that I tend to do, which is our smaller HMOs. So it was really interesting, and it was a learning curve for myself, and it was really helpful to have Mark and Jason's input along the way.
So that's that side though.
Yeah.
And then there you go. That's us literally
Deep, innit?
all hand dug, you know, with a spade.
For us anyway.
And then
I'm just trying to see what I can do. So does it have to be absolute fit? It has to fit all the...
So when we bought this building, there was a piano that was left there that we actually wanted to restore. You know, almost everyone that came on site, they noticed it, but it was really funny because, you know, when Mark came on site, he got it and he started playing, and this is one of the videos that we're discussing here.
Woo! Hey, you got a voice in it? You got a voice in it? Hey, you gotta post this, man. Hold on. Hey! Hey, you're good, man, honestly.
So,
Wow.
so they can do
That's
this.
quality, man. That's
Yeah,
quality.
This is not heavy, yeah. The quickest I have so far is 6 weeks. 6 weeks, that's the quickest. But I'm thinking I should have thought about this before, because I thought I would have to just go to the shop and just, you know, go and walk away.
Doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I know. But that's what I'm used to with the smaller.
It does when you've got an 900 door
Yeah,
on
exactly.
it. Not the one that you
Not this. So I'm just trying to think what I can do. So I found one that.
I'll tell you what to do, yeah, go on eBay and look for a second-hand plastic door. Just buy it, 50, 60 quid, yeah. Put the door in, we'll just frame it out, yeah, and put OSB board on. At least you've got secure. It'll be secure that then. You get a door on there for 80, 90 quid. You'll bin it.
Just any door?
And a plastic door, yeah, UPVC door. Obviously, that works with a lock on it, the keys.
Because I found a door, like a double door. It's huge.
Right.
But it was too. I think I put it on a group. It was too big.
I'm excited to see how it's gonna be, man. Honestly.
Yeah, it's
So you're saying the doors are gonna be next Thursday,
yeah.
Amazing, like even and the windows.
It's a very unassuming house, isn't it, from the front?
Yeah.
It's, I bet people who live. Are you local then? Yeah.
So it's down the road, literally 10 minutes down the road. Yeah.
So I bet people who's been coming past here.
Yeah.
It's never changed the front. They must think, what are these guys doing here?
100%.
And I'm guessing, like, you know, if you market this property, whatever, let's just say 800, 900,000, right? People are going to look at that front and go, 900,000 for this.
And then when you come inside,
it's the wow factor, isn't it?
100%.
It's like a TARDIS.
It's location as well.
Oh man, look at that.
Oh man, listen. You don't get, listen, I work in London, you don't get that.
And as well, there's not a single pylon in the field.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
You know, it's absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful, honestly. That's what I'm saying, these kind of projects, you don't get them literally.
No.
You don't get them in a year, probably every 5 years, or you get like a point like this.
Yeah.
Like this
I think that's helped us get through the job.
Yeah.
It's getting a bit like,
Oh,
living away from home.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's, I think that there in the pub next door.
Yeah, there's one of the, come on, you're laughing, yeah.
But that's beautiful. You'd not get that anywhere.
No,
But you will, like, but you pay good money for that one.
This is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like this, you're not gonna get it.
Yeah, this is sort of like the snug area. As you can see, the beautiful view, which was amazing. And here, yeah, we can see the master bedroom again. You can see the ensuite taking shape.
Yeah, we decided to add ACs in every room because the heat rises here and the top bedrooms were very, very hot. So we just thought it's the best thing to do to have an AC.
Here we go up to the 3rd floor, everything painted. Still a lot of, things to finish off, but as you can appreciate of where the building started. Yeah, these stairs were very, very difficult. I had calculated in my head how many spindles we needed, and for the joiner to say, we've got 2 less spindles. So it was a bit of a panic to Stairbox. Shout out to Stairbox because they were absolutely fantastic. As you can see, the master bedroom taken shape. We're now working on the internals, so the walls have been plastered, they've been painted. We're now at the stage of wardrobes going in. We decided to do some paneling here and there, and there's some paneling up in the master. And finally we have a clear driveway, which was great. Here we've got the external wall being built.
This is the final product, really. If you remember the start of the video, at the front, how it's overgrown. Now you can see where we are with the doors. We went for fire doors. We just thought it's the best interlinked smoke alarms in the property for safety. Yeah, and as you can see, very nice tiles picked by Natasha.
Yeah, that was when you go into a tile shop and you've got 100 different tiles. It can be a bit of a difficult to make your decisions on which one you're going to finally go for, but we're really happy with our choice. Yeah, this is sort of like the snug area. As you can see, the beautiful view, which was amazing.
Numbers, we purchased this for 342. Refurbishments, we spent 350, and the end value was 900. Now, for transparency, we did 2 different valuations. We had a valuation from the bank at 820, and a different bank gave us 900. And just bearing in mind that final valuation was done before the garden was completed, before the drive was completed. So there was quite a bit of works not completed. So we know the more realistic valuation, if they had to come back, would be around 950.
Here we go up to the 3rd floor. Everything painted. Still a lot of, things to finish off, but as you can appreciate, it's come a long way, so to speak.
Yeah, and heating, we decided to separate in every level. So every level has its own control system, so that if you're on top floor, you don't need to heat up the ground floor and so on and so forth. So which I think also is it's a cost saver. Yeah, and you chose those vanity mirrors, right?
Yeah, I must say the bathrooms and the toilets were sort of my baby, so to speak. I was really enjoying that process, choosing the towel racks. The ensuite glass was very, very difficult to order because it is a bespoke size. But if anyone wants any information on that, happy to give some more information in another video. Here we've got the kitchen. Super happy with the kitchen, how that turned out. And there's the utility room that nearly wasn't a utility room, but that's it. Yeah,
at this point the garden was not finished. We decided to do 3 different levels. This another thing that was really important is the lighting. The ground floor has a lot of lighting, which makes it stand out even more, which I thought is helpful. And at this point we finished the grass. We decided to go for artificial grass for maintenance purposes. That's what it looks like, completed. 90% completed.
Thank you so much for following our journey on this abandoned house to a family home. We would love to do more of these videos, so anything that we're missing out, any things that you want us to show in future projects, please let us know.
So thank you so much for tuning in and watching, and look out for more projects in the future.